there is a $25 million lawsuit against Sesame Place, specifically the parent company, for continued discrimination. Let me bring you to Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland family is suing the parent company of Sesame Place after a new video of another alleged racial snub appears to show a character ignoring a 5-year-old girl during a meet and greet. Here's part of that video. We've been on top of this since day one. We have uncovered multiple videos as well as testimony from parents to say that this was not an abnormal thing. This actually happened more than once, and we were able to provide some of that video. Okay, the lawsuit claims that Quinton Burns and his daughter, Kennedi, visited the park on Father's Day, and the 5-year-old was snubbed by several characters during the meet and greet. The family says they were inspired to come forward after learning about similar incidents. I'm hurt, I'm devastated. Me and my wife, just looking at her face makes me want to cry every time I see it, said Father Quinton Burns. The lawsuit comes after numerous allegations of similar instances of racial discrimination by this agency. Here's an update of those videos. Let's put up the attorneys who are filing this lawsuit. You have Malcolm Ruff on the left and Billy Murphy on the right. The family's lawyers filed the suit on Wednesday. Attorney Malcolm Ruff said the young child was ignored among a sea of white children who the characters interacted with instead. The lawsuit, according to Ruff, was filed on behalf of any black family or person who believes they were discriminated against at Sesame Place. The young child was forced to experience racism at the age of 5, Attorney Ruff said. They are seeking $25 million in damages, and Ruff urged other families who feel that they have been discriminated against to come forward. Attorney Bill Murphy explained to reporters that the lawsuit is based on Section 1981 of the US Code, which he says protects against a breach of contract based on race. We're here to make sure that justice is done to the families who did not have the experience at that park that they paid to get, Murphy said. And the reason they did not get the experience they paid and contracted to get is because of their race. The park offered a statement in response to the filing of the suit. It reads, Sesame Place responded to the lawsuit Wednesday night saying, we will review the lawsuit filed on behalf of Mr. Burns. We look forward to addressing what claim through the established legal process, that claim through the established legal process. We are committed to deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience for all of our guests. Now, if you remember when we first covered this, there were multiple lies told in the beginning. The first lie was that they did not know who was in the Rosita costume. According to the family, when the mother approached management about the initial snub that went viral, management said, we don't know who's actually in the costume, which is insane, right? So that was number one. Second, they came out with an affirmative defense and said, oh no, the person was actually saying no to somebody in the crowd. Now, when all of the witnesses there said, that's not what happened. They changed the story again. And then they came out and said they are doing sensitivity training. And then later they actually apologized for the offense. Now they're being sued, big time. Ben, thoughts here?
Disturbing story. It really speaks to a few things that are again wrong here in our society here in America these days. I mean, I don't mean to say this even in a funny way, even though it might come off that way, but it just really proves how absurd racial discrimination is as a concept, is that people are paying to go to this parade, to this Sesame Place, to this experience, and kind of worship, get excited about, can't wait to meet characters who are literally different colors, green and purple and pink, and somehow still black is seen as less than even pink now, than purple, than Muppet colors. Doesn't it prove the fact that we love characters of different colors, that color does not matter as something of substance where one can be judged over another, that it's just the flavor in our lives, that it's the things that make us special and unique and not ever something to be denigrated? But there's literally a character dressed in a green costume thinking that they're better than a black child is so insane and insulting. And the only good thing that could come out of this is if they are awarded the $25 million, which I think would be a pretty decent payday for a snub like this. And if it happens, it can be overall, I think, a very good story, because those parents can tell their kids, in America, when you get treated badly based on the color of your skin, society says that is so not okay that we become rich for the rest of our lives. And it's shut down hard. Sesame's good at teaching people to count. Hopefully they can count all the way to 25. 1, 2.
There you go.
You get the rest.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna follow that story because naturally, in order for this to be categorized as an official class action lawsuit, other families will need to join. A judge will eventually have to deem it so. And that's why this lawsuit was filed, in anticipation of that.